you needed it.
Chickens you used to steal,
I don't steal no more.
rabbits you used to shoot.
I don't shoot no more. Down you chase. I don't chase no more.
Get ready, brother. Your time has come. Stand up, you sinner, we got you at last. You can't get away, there's no knot where your finish is going to be fast. Brothers and sisters, come on, get hot. We'll have you take your bododeo and tie your bones in a knot. Bid it down, did it da down. Did it da da down. Bid it down, did it down. Brother, you sure gonna get your face lifted and a permanent shave. Ha, ha, Where you want your body sent? Body? Huh? There ain't gonna be nobody. Ha, ha, ha. You can't make any excuse. Go loom, well, you loom, till we fix up the loom. Swing your sinner for making chickens elope. You're at the end of your rope, so just give up all hope. Swing your sinner. We'll stretch you like a giraffe, maybe what you would have. Just give us a laugh. Swing your sinner.
And a one-fish, two fish. And a one-fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. And a one-fish, two fish. And red fish, blue fish. Okay, I think I'm almost good with the camera. Still mucking around with it. Yo, Charles, how you doing today? Okay. All right. Twitch is good. Let's make sure YouTube. Okay, I think I'm almost good with the camera. Still mucking around with it. Yo, Charles, how you doing today? Which is fine. All right. All right. I did this a few years ago, and I never really released it as a Daz product. The Vampira Outfit. I actually did 4 outfits, 2 of which only actually got released. Lily Munster was done and released. Vampirella? No, not Vampirella, the other one. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark was done and released. I never finished the Vampire one, and also Morticia Adams. I gotta finish Morticia Adams. So I think today I'm gonna work a little bit on the Vampire Outfit. And maybe a little bit of work on the bra and panties, but probably not with the way I usually go. I hope you're doing well today, Charles. I don't know if there's anybody else in here, but we'll give you the shout out. There we go. All right, let's I had set this up for just Genesis 8 back in the day. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to fit it to Genesis 9 female, and then we'll split it out into the 2. And we'll try to do that. I'm not going to go too crazy with this, and I've already, there it is. So I kind of got to start on it already. I had textures, but I think I'm going to resize things a little bit. Also, I want to, it's kind of like, so we're going to have to rig it kind of like the way we rig shoes, because this outfit, the legs need to be a little closer together. So we're going to do that. We're going to swap. We're going to make a morph target with the legs in. I'm going to kind of save that. We're going to use that for rigging the regular one, and then we will convert that over to the Genesis 8 female, I think. I've kind of got a way to do that, so this is going to maybe get a little complicated. So first things first. Actually, I'm going to do that with the base. So we're going to fit it to this female shape. Then we're going to, okay, here, we'll do this. Let's get this in here. And I got Daz in the way of chat. Sorry about that. Let's put that like that. So what we're going to do is bring the legs in. So we'll just do a little side by side that way until, I think it's like about 11. No, maybe -5. Maybe -5. We'll do the same thing with this. Side by side, so that would make that 5. So we're going to save this as a morph target. Let me see, where is this folder? Can I just do properties? That would be too easy, right? That would be like cheating. There we go. M, objects, marvelous designer, G8 avatars. That's where I need to stick this, and then I'm going to put it into this morphs folder here. We'll do that. We have to take our standard, so as we do with standard morphs, we're going to reduce the take the resolution down to base. And I think that's good. So we're going to save this. Then I'm going to make the female shape. We're going to save that, hit the dress to that. Then we'll move it to this, and then move it to the Genesis. Oh, so complicated. Anyhow, let's export this. And I'm going to save you. You're over on the M drive somewhere. In the objects folder. There's an objects folder over on the M drive. Right there. And I think there's a Marvelous Designer folder in here. I have two. Why do I have two? One of these things is not like the other. There it is. Does that say G9? Nope. There we go. And there was a shout out to who popped in. Rod Shelley. How you doing, Rod? So we're gonna save into G9 avatars. Let's stick it over here on Morse. And I'm gonna call this G9 base. I'm fat fingering the hell out of that, I know. G9 base. Vampira pose. We'll do that. And should be good. Doing okay for a Monday. Sounds good. All right, come over here. Let's dial in the base feminine shape. All right, let's export that. You know what? I'll do date modified so the last thing I did pops to the top. G9 Fem Vampire Pose. I also need a version for Genesis 8. So we're going to load in a Genesis 8 here. I should save that pose. That would be the smart thing to do. I have a library, I think, somewhere where I started building this out. I should connect to that too. Of course, now I can't do anything because I'm loading stuff. As we slowly wait for Genesis 8 to grace us with her presence. Are you done? There it goes. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to scale. I think I want to scale 96% and bring the legs in. So let's do that. She's a little... I mean, I could just do the 95%. And she's almost the same height, but she's a little thinner. I think that'll be fine. And then we'll just bring those legs in. You know what? The 11 might be for... Yeah, that works. Minus 11 and 11. All right, now I'm going to set up the content library. I've set up a content library for this once upon a time, but I'm pretty sure I've removed it since then. So we'll re-link up to that. So we'll come over here to the content directory manager, say DAS Studio formats. I'm going to click add here. And we're going to go to projects. And this is the old creepy season. I haven't been in my creepy season folder for a little while. I really didn't do Halloween stuff last year. Do I have a vampire? I do have a vampire. Do I have a Morticia? I do have a Morticia. What's in the vampire, by the way? It may... I have to take a look. Let's connect this and see what we've got in here. I'm going to redo it anyhow for Marvelous Designer, but I'm just going to see. We'll accept that. I should hook up the Morticia folder while I'm at it. I should have done that too. We'll do that right now. Because maybe this weekend or next week we'll do Morticia. Classic television Morticia. Although I did get caught up on season 2 of Wednesday. I actually like season 2 of Wednesday better than season 1. Season 1, the stories were a little weak, and that romance thing didn't feel quite right for Wednesday. This one, I think the stories are solid. Wednesday got by on the character. Jenna Ortega's portrayal of Wednesday Addams is so cool. I am going back to my content directory manager, just like I said. Come over here. We're going to add this. We're in creepy season. We're going to add the Morticia. Select that. And do I have Vampire here? I do. And we'll just accept that. And we're just going to scroll down. Oops, I'm in the wrong folder. We'll come down to Vampire and we'll take a look at what we got. Do I have anything? See, I did set this. I'm going to redo this, though. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop in here and zip this all up, and then we'll probably end up deleting a bunch of stuff out. Because I'm kind of redoing it now that I have a few more years of experience on what I'm doing with Daz products. Let's browse to the folder location. Let's pop into here. I'm just going to zip all of this stuff up. And then I'm just going to clean this stuff out. We'll get rid of those. Actually, yeah, we'll get rid of those because we're going to regenerate them. Documentation. You know what? I probably should include documentation. We're going to make a freebie out of this, I think. I do need this and this and that. I'm going to get rid of these. And then we just need a Genesis 9. So I'll just copy that. And we'll rename that Genesis 9. And Clothing Seacox Vampira. And so that should just be good. All right, that's good. Runtime. I don't need... Actually, I might make the support files. We'll leave that there. I might try to do the smart content. And I got an empty folder, so we'll put a new folder in here. If I can remember how to make smart content. I think I remember how. And templates. Do I have anything in here? I do not. We'll put a new folder in here for this. We'll actually make a template. Vampira. There we go. All right. I think we've got the basis. Oh, so what we can do now is we can come over here. And in here, I'm going to select the Genesis 8, and we're going to save a pose. I'm going to call that Vampire pose. Her and Morticia will use the same pose because both of those characters bring in the legs really close. It's basically a hobble skirt. Oh, except Vampire has got a slit in it. We'll design it to give you that really narrow point, though, and then you can pose it any way you want. Oh, brain has stopped. It should be coming back. It's coming back. I'm saving a pose. I knew that. Pose preset. I'm just going to save the legs. Vampire legs. G8 female. Let's save that. All right, we'll uncheck this and then we'll just go down to the parts we want to keep. Basically everything below the pelvis we'll use as a pose. And now we wait. Now I'm going to hide you. And we'll select you and we'll save that as a pose. I have to refresh, don't I? There we go. As a pose preset, same deal. Vampire legs G9. All right, let's uncheck all to start with, and we'll just kind of come down, and we'll just grab the legs, and we'll just save those out. All right, we got our poses set. Did I export out? I don't think I exported out the, I don't think I exported out this shape yet, so we'll do that. Or I may have. Let's see. I did. Okay, that one's done. Let's do the Genesis 8 then. So, same deal. Actually, I'm going to do the Genesis 8 shape with the Genesis 9 and make a morph target with that. So here's how we do that. I'm going to come over here, Genesis 9. I'm going to come down here where they have these hidden shapes. You can get out of the way. There is in Genesis 9 a shape for Genesis 8 female. Kind of like that. Only that went full size, so we're going to scale ourselves down to, what was I using? 95, I think. So we'll come over here, and ideally that should then line up with the Genesis 8 we have in here. That's pretty close. And I'm going to save that. So that's the body shape that we're going to use for making the Genesis 8 version of the outfit. It will come in handy later on. All right, so I'm going to just export that. Boom. G8. This is going to look weird. G9, G8. Female vampire post. There we go. That's the wackiest. All right, half hour later, and I'm ready to. I am totally not in the right. I am in the right spot. What the hell? Why did I not see nothing in here? I'm going to copy this, try this again. Something's going on. Oh, I know what it is. I've got a asterisk in there and it doesn't like that. That was probably my problem. Why do I not see the rest of these, though? Where are you guys? I'm just going to copy you. If I just hit save, is it working now? Now it's working. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, so once upon a time, is it 3 years ago, 2 years ago? We did this for our creepy season. So I'm going to load in the shape as a morph target. Actually, I should just load the shape in as an avatar. Let's try that. G9 Femme Vampire Pose. There we are. Add to workspace. I'm going to add you as an avatar. I'm going to say okay to that. All right, let's see how this goes. You know what? With the slit in the outfit, I probably don't need that pose now that I think about it. With the Morticia outfit, I'm going to need these. Because Morticia doesn't have that slit. Vampira has that slit in her dress, though, so we can spread the legs without having to hobble her. So that was all not necessary. Well, it will be used. It won't go to waste. I got to go up a level. And then I'm going to load in the Femme add to workspace. All right, let's try this. Let's grab these and we'll pull them over that way. And are you ones over here? You are. So we're just going to get that stuff out of the way there. And then we'll just let everything. Oops. I'm going to move you guys. Actually, let's just do that. Is that working? I strengthened them, so now they look like octopus limbs. And now we'll unstrengthen them now that we've got them broken free. And is this all good? You know what? I'm going to kind of do the same thing down here. We'll strengthen these up so they can get a little bit better shape to them. And that might be a good place to start. Basic outfit. You know what? I think that's going to be fine. Let's put this back up over the shoulder a little bit better. Let me stop some stuff and let's do some tweaking. Let's switch over to optimized. Quads. It's thinking about it. Okay, I think we're good. All right, we're going to do, I'm going to stop that. Let's add a little bit more. Back in the old days, I was trying to get as close as possible. Now I try to give it a little bit more breathing room. So we'll set everything to like 2 millimeters instead of a half of a millimeter of offset. Should work out. You know what? I think this is going to be fine. Although I've got, where are you? I've got a little bugaboo in here. Let's see if we can move you this way and get you to set a little bit better on the ground. Worst comes to worst, I'll just reset it back to a flat shape and then redo it. So I know those look good, but I think they'll deforce nicely later on. And actually, do I want to strengthen up the ones around the sleeve as well? Do I want to just strengthen everything? My fit's a little wonky. What if we just Control H everything here? You know what? I might just do that. just to get it to get into shape real quick. I think that might do the trick. All right, I think I'm going to call that good for this. And I think I was saving you somewhere that made sense. So we'll hit a save on that. I need a 95 version of this. So I'm going to reset that. Dial in. Did I export you with the fem shape on? Damn it. I want to check something. I've got the wrong thing selected. No, I don't. I had the right thing selected. Let's take a look at favorites. Oh, I did have the fem shape dialed in. We don't want the fem shape dialed in. That's fine. I didn't use it yet, so we're good. So I'm going to export this again. That's the G8 Vampira pose at 95%. Yes. I'll accept that. And now, do I have a zero pose button up here somewhere? Zero figure pose, I'll do that. Okay, it thinks the morph dials for poses. Fine. I didn't realize the scaling was a pose, but I guess it is. So we'll set you back to 95. There we go. I'm going to export that out. And that's just going to be G8 female 95. We'll do that. And I'm going to accept that. Okay, now we're ready to start reshaping stuff over here. So let's load in for the base shape and load that up. Actually, do I want to I should probably set up some trims in here. I didn't do that before. I have a waistband. I do have a waistband. I'm not going to put trims here, but I really do want trim along here. I think here we'll add a little trim zone. What are you? Oh my. Can I just get rid of you? Nope. You're a weird little shape. I don't like you. You're a weird little... Oh, that's because I tried doing trims and it didn't work before. I have a little trim there, but this one's janky. Let's fix that. Can I just do this and remerge? I want to remerge the other way. There's an order if I do this the right way. And merge that. That will then move over there. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to get rid of that point there. And then I'm going to just double check and make sure I was doing 5 back then. I was. Yay. All right, let's put a little trim here, there, and there. Oh, you know, that was in the right spot because the trim only comes down to the... I'm going to just run trim. Let's try this again. I kind of had that right, except, you know what? I got to redo this. Yeah. I got to... So I just need trim on this, but it doesn't need to come to this corner. I need to do a little offset here. So we'll just do a little offset as an internal line. We'll say 5. I'm not going to extend that. I'm going to say okay. Then I'm just going to put a little... Let's put a little split here at 5. And then I'm just going to run a little line from here to here. And then we're just going to cut and sew that. And that gives me that trim. Okay, let's put you back. I do have a thing that says dress trim. Look at that. Dang. I was all ahead of the game. Nope. Let's make sure that is there. What are you? You are dress top. You are dress trim. I probably need to drop a little dress trim right here. Should be good. You know what? I can probably live with this. I don't think, do I have, let's break the fringes out. Let's call it sleeves. So let's make some additional here. I don't know, what are you? Oh, you're the waistband. I'm just gonna say dress waist. We'll do that. Okay, and let's put underscores in here, like I'm doing nowadays. Okay, I'm gonna dupe you. You're gonna be dress bottom. Or I said dress skirt. I have a dress skirt. Okay, excellent. Dress sleeves. We'll do that. Then I'm gonna say skirt fringe and sleeve fringe, and I think that'll be good to go. Copy that. Sleeve fringe. And I'm going to put you there and there. Fringe. Did I spell fringe right? I think I did. And then I want skirt fringe. Skirt fringe should be good. So let's grab these and drag and drop that in. And let's grab those. And we'll drag and drop that in. And I think this is good. Let's hit save. All right, let's fit it to the base. I made a texture for this. Have I moved anything? I don't think I moved anything, but my pattern probably changed. I should probably see something went amiss, didn't it? We might redo a texture later, or I might just grab a generic texture and use that. We'll probably run out to like ambient CG and just grab a cotton or a fabric pattern and put that on there. And if I want silk, I could just adjust the top coat shininess or something. So hit save. We're going to come over here to base, and we're going to load you in as a morph target and say okay to that and let it do its magic. And then when that gets done, I'm going to save again, file, save as project. This will be base. So I don't accidentally overwrite the other one. All right, let's export this out. Let's go back into the, dang it, I gotta close you. And now I've closed the 2D pattern, damn it. There we go. File, export, OBJ selected. Let's go to the projects. Vampira. Whip. Vampira dress. G9. Geez, I keep holding that shift key down. All right, save you. Is this working? Thin, welded, and in meters. Yep, okay. All right, let's reload the base one again. I shouldn't have called you base. File. Let's just say open project and I'll take a look at G9 Fem. That's the one I want. Okay, now I'm going to save this. This is the shape that works for the base female. Vampire dress G9 Fem, and we'll actually rename that to whatever the name is for the morph for the base 9 female when we load it in. So it'll automatically transform the dress when you dial in the base female shape. G9 Fem. I'm going to do that and say okay. All right, now we're going to morph this to Genesis 9 at 95%. That's where this other morph target we made comes in. That one right there. G8 female 95. Let's add you to workspace and let's add you as a morph target and say okay. And oh, you float around there, don't you? Dang. I thought you were part of the dress. Wonder why I did that. It'll probably work. You know what I can do is I could probably make a smaller morph for that or something. I don't know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, let's save you now. Let's first save the project so I don't inadvertently overwrite something. Project. G8. Email. 95. And now save this. File, export, OBJ selected. Not that, but back over here. Vampira Dust, G8, female 95. So I know that I have to scale it. All right, that is good. Yes, I know Windows 10 support ends tomorrow. Stop that. I already got the ESU for a year. I did that last night. So why are you still bothering me? Damn you, Windows. It's not like it's not going to let me upgrade. I already checked into that. It won't let me run Windows 11 on this machine. And it's a perfectly fine machine. There are probably features in the newer processors that Windows 11 hooks into. Anyhow, what are we doing? We're coming back over here. Your comps won't run Windows 11 either? Yeah. Did you get the, what do they call it? The ESU? It actually turned out to be pretty easy. I was like panicking last night when I realized, oh my gosh, I got 2 days to get this thing. And after fumbling around for 15 minutes, I found it in the settings. All right, we're going to take you and reset you back to normal. We're going to hide you. We're going to import in the base one. Let's activate the import button. Let's come over here. Let's go to the creepy season folder. Not crappy dress, creepy season. There we go. Crappy season. Maybe I should make the Academy uniform. It's too late. I'm not gonna do it this year. Maybe next year I'll do the Wednesday Academy uniform. Vampire, there we go. Whip. I choose you. Pikachu. There we go. I think that's the right one. That looks about right. All right, let's do the transfer utility. Genesis 9 favorites is what I call my Genesis 9. Vampira dress G9. Projection template will be dresses long. I'm going to say long loose because of those fringes. I forgot to check. Do I have fringe in the back? I do. Are you actually set to trim? You actually set to trim. Wow, I'm way ahead of the game today. I didn't even check that. What are you? You're dress top. But I do have a zone set for that. If I need the arms to be separate, I have material there. Okay. I think this is good. Let's select the dress. Let's put a D-force modifier on there. I'm going to bring a plane in so that it doesn't fall through space. And let's see how this simulates. So what I'm probably going to do is probably make some of this stuff run a little tighter. Having this waistband in here was probably a bad idea. That's a little slow because I just think, what was my, let's just double check. Particle distance looks like it was 10. It's probably okay. I can't see my, can I switch you over to mesh and will I see it then? Are those 10s? Those don't look like 10s. Those are 20s. I'm going to resave everything. Damn you. Actually, did that make a difference? You know what? It actually has them hold their shape a little bit better. So what I might do, I might switch these to 20s so that they act a little bit more like that, maybe. I need to run the simulation a little bit longer, too. You know what? I'm probably fine. So for this, although what was I thinking with that belt? I should probably make this a little bit shorter and then put a little belt piece in. It doesn't seem to actually be causing issues though, so maybe I should just leave well enough alone. Where is that? There it is. You know what? I think I'm just going to leave well enough alone. I am going to, so for the purpose of this, I'm going to let the simulation run a little bit longer. So we're going to come over here to simulation and just double the duration like so. So let's clear that. Let's add a couple of other things. Let's get our modifiers in here. I'm in the scene tab. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to edit geometry, add the smoothing modifier. Then we'll just pop over here and say edit geometry, convert to sub D. I'm going to do a little tweak over here under mesh smoothing. I'm going to switch that to generic. And I'm going to make sure that the figure is memorized. Should be good. I think here, let's change the names of these things that make more sense. I'll get rid of the extra garbage that Marvel's Designer likes to add to everything. I need to spell fringe. Does it have an E in there? It does have an E. I need to put an E in there. I just can't spell. That's better. Alrighty. That is good. That is good. I think we're ready to do a quick save of this. So I'm gonna do dump save. So we're saving as a figure prop asset into our directory. Right there. Vampira dress G9. And have I been mucking with this? Here, I have to make Vampira dress is the project. Probably good. Alrighty, let's set it up. Let's set it up for texturing. So real quick, I'm gonna run over and grab a copy of my generic shaders. There should be a set over in here somewhere. Nope, not anymore, because you moved the directory over to here. Let's just pop over into here. Let's browse to this folder. Let's copy that. And let's browse to this folder. So let's paste this material folder in here. There's a bunch of garbage in here. We're going to clean that out right away. Okay, so we don't need all of these because these are for the coveralls and play suits. I will need this, but I don't need these. I'm just going to take it. No, stop you, stop. Let's just get rid of that CC05 off the front of these. I'm going so much faster than Windows. That's my problem. I keep clicking to do things and it takes its time. Going, oh, you want to do something? Yeah, I don't need hierarchical materials for this outfit. Get rid of those. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to take off the CC05 on all of these generic shaders. We'll just do that with a quick rename. And I'll just do that and apply and close. Come over here and copy that. And we'll just stick a copy of that over here with the, let's rename you. And let's put a copy of that material file right there, or we can use it later. And right in here, you're probably good, except I think I just want to rename you as well. G9. Should be good. All right, let's give these all different colors now. All of that just so I can refresh. Refresh. Nope, cancel. Oh, because I renamed it. There it is. There's my generic shaders. Yay! And we're just going to quickly assign colors. I should break these trims up though, shouldn't I? Yeah, that was dress. That's all dress trim. You know what? I'm going to split dress trim up into arms, chest, and a skirt. We'll reassign those really fast here before we go on any further. So over into the geometry editor, come over to tool settings, just hide everything except for the trim. And then I can just easily select that, and I'm just going to expand that selection to capture all of that. And we'll make a new surface out of that. Create surface from selected. This will be dress trim arms. And we're going to add this to that. Okay, then these down here are going to be dress trim skirt. So I'll grab a little bit of that. Oh, it's only on one side. It's an asymmetrical dress. I forgot about that. There we go. That is now selected. So create a surface from selected. Dress. Trim. Skirt is good. I'm going to clear my selection, just make sure I don't have anything inadvertently selected. And then just make everything, I could just right click and say, show all polygons. There we go. Now I'm going to resave this. Actually, cancel that. I'm going to copy that. I should rename chest. Let's do that. Good call. There we go. Dress trim, chest. Also, I have to reapply D-force because the new zones don't have D-force on it, so we're just going to do that. I haven't made any adjustments to the D-force settings yet. I do want to give the arms its own unique color. So we're back in shaders. Also, we'll give the skirt. Okay, and then I can use for texturing. All right, now we'll just save you again. We're going to save one more time after we do the textures with this, but right now, you go there. Already exists. Are we good with all of this? That still looks good. Oakley dokley. Let's come over here. I'm going to export this out for substance. So we're going to set it back to base. Export that. I'm totally in the wrong folder. Hopefully, there we go. New folder. Right there. Vampire dress IDs. Okay, accept that. So, just because of the way Daz exports, I just gotta open it up and save it out of Blender. Also, it gives me an opportunity to make the texture, the template while I'm in there. There we go. There's Blender. Do an import. Let's go find this. That's right. I can't type in Blender like that. Never mind. So I want you. I don't need you. You know what? I got the 5 alpha or beta. I should probably start using that. All right. Right click and shade smooth. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate that belt out. Or just move it off to the side. So that it doesn't, I don't get ambient occlusion from the belt on the rest of the dress. I'm going to do that. Then I'm just going to resave you as this. Selected only. We are saving materials. Good to go. Save it again. I don't think I hit the save. I hit the import button. That's the save button. No materials and uncheck materials. And export that. All right, let's pop over and save out the template. What the hell? Damn you. Arg. All right, we got to do some fixing. We haven't gotten too far along, so hopefully this. So let's reopen. I have to export one of these. Let's do this. The UVs didn't export out right because I forgot to check a box. Because by default, Marvelous Designer says, "Hey, I'm going to give you crap UVs. How's that?" Thanks, Marvelous Designer. You're the best. All right, let's do that. What I have to do is I have to check a box in here. Unified coordinate. There we go. And I don't need any of these. Actually, I'll go ahead and do those. I don't really need them, but we'll export them out anyhow, just for fun. Okay, bacon, bacon, bacon. All right, we're good. All right, we're going to come over here and we're going to fix these janky ass UVs. So we're going to load in that what we just saved as a UV set, load UV set. This right here. And I'm going to accept that. And then what we're going to do is here, I'll switch over. So this is currently what our UVs look like. Ooh, yucky. That's terrible. But we can come over here and switch to the good UV set. That doesn't update. What we have to do is we have to flip screens and come back. And that's what it's supposed to look like. So disaster averted. Sort of. So right now I want to switch the default to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to export this out and then reload it in. Actually, can I just reload? Yeah, we're going to export this out and then reload it back in as an update to the base geometry. So let's just double check my resolution still base. My smoothing is still off. So we're going to export that with the new UVs selected. Come over here. I'm going to override that one there. And then I'm just going to double check to make sure I'm writing face groups. I don't need to write normals. I'm writing UV coordinates. I think this is all good. Otherwise, I just have to re-rig it and redo everything we just kind of did, which is a pain, but I'm getting good at it. I think this is good. So I'm going to accept that. Then we're going to come in here and update full geometry because I need to get those UVs. So we'll do it with that. And I'm going to cancel that first because I want to watch these face groups and I want to make sure they don't get janked. So so when we do this, it's important these face groups don't get janky. So we're going to do this again. This way I can kind of monitor this while it goes. And if those get janky, I'm going to have to try something else. Last time I tried this, it didn't get janky. Alrighty, here we go. Holding our breath. I think it went okay. I lost the materials, that's fine. And I probably lost the D-force, right? Nope, it still kept the D-force. That's kind of slow, though. I'm going to cancel that. I think we're good. So I'm just going to reassign the colors, save it out again, and pop it over in the blender. I think I'm fine. And did I keep my material? I did, because I only changed UVs and I saved it with my material names. Excellent. So let's clear that. Let's give it colors. Once again, I know you could just individually change these colors, but I just find it easier to just go through and double click. All right, we're good. Let's double check our mass resolution still at base. Smoothing is still off, so we're going to resave that over here. Yeah, yes. Okay, meanwhile, back in here, look at those janky ass UVs. Get rid of that and re-import. There we go. It's much better. No? All right, let's export that out as a UV template. Let's save you over here. Let's do that at 4K, 4096. And let's make sure I smooth this, and then I'll resave it. Only I want to separate that belt out. So we're going to shade smooth, tab in, Control L, and G and X. Just pull that over there. Now resave this over the no material version, and then we save it again over the ID version. Should be good. All right, let's get this fitted to Genesis. Yada yada. Genesis 9. I think. Did I do a save with this? I think I did. I'm going to save again just to be sure. Nothing quite like doing all that work and then realize you didn't save the right copy. Oakley dokley. Actually, do I have a Genesis 8 still in here? I do. I'll just bring that back. And we're just going to slack fit that onto that, auto fit it from the 9. And you are a dress, and I'm just going to use this knee length template. There's a bunch of sickle Yule templates in here, but I tend not to use those. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying I don't. Uh-oh. It's still working. I think it's still working. I hope. It's taking a little bit longer than it should. Not gonna lie. Something's flashing red in the background. What's going on with you? All right, it worked. Sort of. All right, let's swap this shape out for the one that we saved out for the Genesis 8 version. And what I need to do is, it was a 95%, right? So 100 divided by 95 is, and then we're just going to multiply that by 10,000. So that's the magic number we need to import with. So I'm going to select this. We're going to rename you. Also, I'm going to tweak the scene identifier on that to have this also say, I'm not sure how necessary this is or not. All right, so this shape isn't quite right. You can kind of see how the foot's going through the fringe and things like that, but we did save a good shape, which we should be able to then just update just the vertex position for this one. So last time, because we were changing the UVs, we did a full geometry update, but this time I'm only changing the shape. So we're just going to update the vertex positions. And I'm going to use that one right there, Vampire Dress G8 Female 95. And I'm going to accept that, and it's going to bring up the dialog box. And what I need right here is 105. I'm going to put that over there, 105.26.3. 105.26.3. And I'm going to hit accept on that. And I did that with the feet closed. Let's redo that. Yeah, all right, back to Marvel's Designer. We can fix this. We have the technology. Which one are you, by the way? Why doesn't it say, what does it say the name of the file these days? Oh, there it is. Once upon a time, that was down here. Now it's over here. So I'm going to oh yeah, we need a version with the legs spread out. Fine. Actor. Nope, 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 nope. General. Nope, I got the dress selected. Come on, select that. No, where's the select that? That's what I want right there. And I want you to be I've got the wrong, damn it. I want you to be 95%. And then what I need to do is I need to take Genesis 9 here. And I need to kind of set it up to be the same shape as the other one. So let me make sure that is, nope, that's the wrong one. Let me make sure that is zeroed. And we're just going to dial in the G8 female shape. We're going to pop over to here, scale you 95%. Then I'm going to pose the legs just a little bit. I think side by side about 6. Right about in there. 6.5 seems to be. Actually, I'm gonna break my Genesis 9 here. I'm gonna load in another one and then break it. I'm gonna change the center rotation of the thighs so I can do this right. So we'll do the left thigh. And what I need from over here, I need that left thigh. So we're going to use our rigging tool, and I'm going to move the center of that thigh to match that thigh there. I'm going to copy that. Come over here. Paste that. And I'm going to pop back over here again real quick. Copy the X value. And then back over the G9 that I'm breaking. I'm going to paste that in there. That didn't, did I do that right? 791, is that right? Let's go take a look over here. Yeah, that's about right. They're really close. And then I just got to make sure I match the other side. All right, and now I can, when I pose this, it should line up a little bit better. So we're going to go side to side, somewhere about in there. I think that'll do the trick. I'm going to bring you forward just a hair. 5.5, if I do that. Yeah, I think that's good. Left to the right with the symmetry. Okay, let's make sure we're back into the base shape here. And I'm gonna export you. Did I dial you in? I didn't dial you into the right shape yet. There we go. And then I'm going to scale you. And then I'm going to tweak the posing again because I got to do this stuff. I'm going to get out of there because I can't see what I'm doing. That's pretty close. I'm going to call you 6. And we're going to call you -6. Which is kind of the magic number for side to side on those legs. Okay, then export. Are you? Yeah, you are there. I'm going to overwrite you. Save. Already exists. Yes, let's replace you. Let's do that. Let's pop over into here now. And I think I can just swap that in as a morph target. Oh, hold on just a second. All right, that was a campaign call of some sort, I think. I don't know. I didn't listen long enough to really be sure. What am I doing? I'm loading in that with the legs. That's right. So where'd you get saved? I think you're right in here. Let's try this. Add to workspace as a morph target. And say okay. And the leg should just move. And we should, and then I'm just going to resave you. And we're going to overwrite that. I'm not, that's the wrong thing. I need to come over here to the whip folder. Band, there was a band. Ooh, thanks, Charles. Good going. I don't even see it in my little chat window that combines the chats. I do see it over on the side though. Cheap viewers. My viewers aren't cheap. There we go. Save. Do I want to replace Vampire Dress G8 Female 95? Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay. Oh, it's rebaking the materials. So we'll hop over to here, and then what I'm going to do is we'll do the update again. Chris, are you hiding? Oops, did I? That's what happens when I get a call. I automatically shut the camera off. At least the mic's on. There we go. Let's try this. All right. All right. You ready? Let's accept. What do you mean it's wrong? Because I got the wrong thing selected. It's so picky. All right. Accept. Accept. There we go. Success. We have now successfully converted it over to whatchamacallit. Except she's small now, isn't she? Control Shift. Oh no. We're good. We're good. Control Shift F because that scales. It's automatically scaled. And now I'm going to save the dress. The dress for the Genesis 8 female. Genesis 8 female. Bum 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 bum. Vampira G8 female. Vampira G8 dress. G8 female. Boink. Vampira dress is the product. The rest of this should be good. I think if I just get a texture on it, I can almost call this a day. I still should do a displacement map too. We'll do that real fast. Bum, bum, bum. Hello, Photoshop. And then we'll pop over in the Substance Painter. My butt's getting sore. We're getting a bit of that nor'easter here today. How you doing, Charles? That also hit you, didn't it? Earlier? It might have passed you by now. I don't know. I wasn't watching the weather map for the Carolinas. Okay, no, go away. So let's get the template in here. Open with Photoshop. Control Shift I. Let's fill you in. Let's add a little bit of shape to that. I'll just do a little inner glow on that. That might be okay. We'll go with that one today. All right, let's put a black layer in here. Put that there. File. Save as. All right, so let's save you over here in the whip folder. And then file, export as. Creepy season. I'm going to touch this map up a little bit more, but for right now, we'll get it saved. Runtime, textures, me, Vampira, and right in here, Vampira dress, displace. I'll just say disp. We'll do that. Save that like that. All right, let's do a quick quick round in Marvelous Designer here. All right, file new. Let's go find that. So we want the no material one that we saved over here. Yay, loaded. Before I forget, file save as. Vampira dress. There we go. All right, let's do the baking. So we bake those maps first. And we'll bake the ID map, save it out, and then we can use it to touch up the displacement map a little bit. Use that to make the trims pop. All right. All right, now we'll do the ID map because it has different settings than everything else. And that should be the one that's got our colors. In 4K, make those cages really tight. And bake that. And that's done. All right. Let's save the ID map. So I got a template for that right there. Export that. So we'll cut you. Run over to not here, but over to here. Stick it in the whip folder. And move that into Photoshop. I should be able to drag and drop it like this, if I can find it. So there we go. Hop into here, select all of that, fill it black on here. Control F5. Nope. Oh, I gotta rasterize this layer. I always forget to rasterize the layer part. All right, I'm going to hide you for a second, and I'm just going to select these little trim lines. Excuse me. I'll go get you. And let's grab all of these. Should be good. All right, new layer. Fill with white. We'll add a little bit of inner glow on that. And I'm going to put just a little bit of outer glow on that as well. And that's going to be my displacement map right there, I think. So we're going to resave you, file save as a copy again. I should just said export, damn it. Sometimes I forget to do that. We're saving you as a JPEG. And I'm going to overwrite that one and save. And yes, I do want to overwrite it. And okay. And then hit save on this. And we'll pop back over into Substance Painter. And Vampira just wears black. So I'm just going to do a basic fabric and make it black. I'm going to touch it up just a little bit though. Let's go into painting. Let's put you over here. Let's just look for my fabrics. I'm probably going to go with that cotton because I always go with that cotton. What's that crepe look like? I don't know. Let's try that. We'll just drop that on there. You know what? I think that will do the trick. We got to really tile that up though. Maybe if I say 32, is that changing? That does change. And let's click on that so it says normal map. Probably good. So of course we don't want to keep that color. And you know, in Chris World, black isn't really black. Black is really dark gray. And we're gonna kind of touch up the highlights in the in the shadows. So I'm gonna put this on here. You're gonna be my highlighter, so we're gonna use a edgeware generator with that. So I'm gonna add a generator on that. Actually, I need a black layer. Never mind. We need a black mask. Let's get rid of you because I didn't do that wrong. I'm going to put a black mask on here. We're going to put a generator on that because I screwed this up last time. I did this, getting the order wrong. We'll do this fiberglass edgeware. And we'll just kind of dial that way back. And maybe we'll just dial that way back. We'll try that. So anyhow, let's tweak the contrast down. Just take that level, wear level way down like that. And we're only going to touch the and we'll just lighten that up like that. And now I'm going to add a dirt mask on here to deepen the shadows. So do that. You're going to be black. And then we do the same thing. We're going to add a black mask, and I'm going to put a dirt generator on this one. And I think I'm going to blur that a bit. What if we tweak the contrast down? Take you maybe like that. And it looks drastic in here, but by the time I get it in the DAS, I probably won't even see any of this. That's probably fine. What are you for roughness? I don't know. Do I have a roughness channel, or is it just basically white? It's just basically white, isn't it? That'll be fine. And there shouldn't be anything in the metallic channel. Probably good. You know, let's go ahead and save this. And I don't think do I have, oops, I just saved the IDs again. Damn it. I want to take a look. Is there opacity being? There is no opacity here. Do we want a little bit of opacity on that? You know, it doesn't hurt. I'm going to find a something that has an opacity map, and you're not it. The Blend Jersey probably has one. Yep, let's tile you. And I'll save that as just an opacity map. We'll put you back here. And we'll just turn off everything but the opacity on that. So we're just using the opacity map from that one. It's ever so slight. So slight, I wonder why I'm even bothering. Should be good. Let's try this. We're going to do a 6-channel export. Hop over to the directory. I don't need that. Also, because of the nature of this address, we don't need that roughness, and we don't need that metallic map. Let's Control X. Do I see anything in the height map? I do, actually. Okay. How about the normal map? I clicked it on. There should be something there. I do see something there. Okay. And we looked at that map, and I saw there's just a little slight. So Control X on those. And where am I? I'm over here. Okay, we should be ready to put this texture on here. Save them again, and I'm probably gonna maybe then work a little bit on the bra. Just a little bit. I think I have to still, maybe I'll just start doing the material folders for the bra. We saved out a lot of the textures. I think I still have to save out the dirty textures. I don't remember if I did those or not. I might have, but I can't remember. That was a day or two ago. Hard. Let's hide you. I got too many things in here. I can't see nothing. I'm gonna delete everything. Chris can't see what he's doing. When in doubt, delete it out. I think I saved everything. We're impatiently waiting for Genesis 8 to load. Okay, that's the G9. Here's the G8. Let's come over here. Let's select the dress. Let's just all right, let's put my generic shader on here. Did I put my generic shader on? I did not. Did I? I can't tell. What are you? Yeah, that's Chris's base shader. That means I should. You're not right. What the? Like I've got something else selected. Oh, you know what it is? I probably don't. There we go. I still had Genesis 8 selected in there, even though I had these materials, the surfaces selected. So it wasn't letting me run the script on it. Doy. Anyhow, there's our textures we just made. All right, metallicity goes to 0 because we're not using a map for that. Our glossy roughness is all the way at 1, so that's because we're not using a map there. I have this base color map. We'll just drop you there. We have a height map we can use here in the base bump channel. We have a normal map, which we can use in the, normal channel. We have an opacity map. I'm going to go ahead and stick the opacity map in here. It's really subtle. You're probably not even going to notice it. You'll notice it in the preview because it does weird things. And I'm going to take the displacement map and put you right over in here. And are you all set? I got to turn you to 6. All right, let's tweak the material settings a little bit. Dynamic strength. You know what? I'm going to make you 0.9 for now. Jen Adi, welcome. I'm working on a Vampira dress for Daz Studio. We are putting the textures on now, and I'm going to check the D-force. You know what? I'm going to tweak that expansion ratio just a little bit. Acellus, welcome. How are you, buddy? And is that what I want to do? I'm going to make the collar maybe. No, I think this will be fine. Actually, let's make sure the fringes are set to 100. I'll set those to 1. And you know what? I'm going to crank the weight up on those so they droop a bit more. We'll do that. Let's see how this goes. I'm doing well, thanks. Oh. All right, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to take the expansion off the fringe as well. We'll just set you guys to 100. I might take the expansion off totally. Getting ready for Halloween? Yeah, I thought I would do a couple of things for Halloween before. All right, I'm going to tweak some more. I'm going to just remove that expansion off of everything except for the waist. I'll put a little bit up back on the waist. Oh, I forgot to adjust the buckling stiffness too. So let me set my buckling stiffness to 0.1. And let me take that waist and give it a little bit of extra thickness to it. There we go. Let's try that. Let's see how that's working. I think that's going to be fine. It'll run a little slow on my system. If we posed her, probably. So if you're familiar with the classic movie horror host that predates Elvira, Vampira, the story is they actually wanted Vampira to. They were trying to cut a deal with Vampira. It fell through, and they ended up retooling the hostess to be Elvira. That was the story I heard for the origin of Elvira. Because once things fell through, because the actress who did Vampira, she basically owned those rights. I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to do a quick render. And then that leaves us just like only 11 minutes. Which means I'm going to probably just load the bra up and take a look at what I need to do with that. And try to figure out what I'm... Actually, we'll put the textures on the Genesis 8 version as well. I'm going to save this as a material file. Let's do a render. So many things to do, so little time. Now I'm ready to do those Plan 9. Actually, I need a Tor character, don't I? And then I can do those Plan 9 from Outer Spaces renders that I've always wanted to do. Oh, we also need a Bela Lugosi. And you don't need a real Bela Lugosi. You need somebody in a Bela Lugosi costume that does this. Because some of those scenes weren't Bela Lugosi. So as everybody knows, Bela Lugosi passed away while they were making Plan 9 from Outer Space. And they ended up shooting the scenes that were left for Bela Lugosi with somebody just holding a cloak up over their face. You know, I did this dress a while ago and I never finished it. So I'm looping back to do this. I also have a Morticia Addams dress from the television series I never finished. So I think I'm going to loop back and finish that next week for Halloween. So I think this works. I think this is going to be good. I'm going to resave this. I'm going to cancel that render. Kind of tells me I'm going in the right direction. I'm just going to hit the save button. I'm going to overwrite that right there. I'm going to say yes. All of that looks good. They look kind of nice. They did turn out well. This is okay. If she walked around, you would probably get a little more dynamicness out of the bottom fringes too. Let's save that as a material file. Material preset. Right here, I'm going to say Vampira dress. Let's do that. Let's uncheck all our simulation settings. Accept that. You know what? I'm not going to save. I'm going to just put my presets right here. I'm not going to have a lot of materials. Basically, I'm going to have black. If you want other colors, you can make your own. We're going to give this away for free. You got some long jeans and legs. It happens, doesn't it? Oh, it's so slow. And it's all because of the database in DAS. It takes so long to update because I got too much stuff in it. If I was doing a lot of these, I would shut the database off. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to just get this texture on the Genesis 9 version, save that, and then we'll call it a day there. And then we'll look for somebody to raid. Who's on today? Where are we in the Twitch first? Are you done? You're still saving. Still saving. That's my chat. That's not my... There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my list and work my way back up. 600's on. Maybe we'll raid 600 today. I'm scrolling up. I'm scrolling up. I'm scrolling up. Big Ducky Snow is on. Big Ducky Snow's a really cool cat. I think they're doing karaoke. So maybe we'll just go over and hang out with Big Ducky Snow. He's a really good guy. I like them. And I haven't seen them in a little while. So we'll do that. All right, that is saved. So I'm going to copy this. And we're just going to run over here to the Genesis 9 folder. I'm going to hide you. We're going to load our Genesis 9 in here. I might still need to tweak it to fit the female shape better. We'll see. Let me see how that shape is looking if I just dial in the Genesis 9 Femme. Creme de la Femme. You know what? That's probably going to be okay. So I'm going to apply that to the dress. That was wardrobe. There's the, did I accidentally bring in another copy of the dress? I did. There it is. Let's not do that. Let's do that instead. Okay, then I'm just going to save this. Nope. And we're not going to overwrite the Genesis 8 version. We're going to overwrite the Genesis 9 version. The target file already exists. Would you like to replace it? Hell yeah. Dress. Dress G9. I think we're good to go. I'm going to accept that. I have to change the D4 settings on this, but I think you know, we'll save that. We'll apply this. We'll save it again. So we're going to come over here. I still have that Genesis 8 version in here, right? I was that clever. Was I that clever? I was that clever. There we go. We have to impatiently wait while it saves again. Right there, vampire dress, D-Force default. And check only simulation settings. There we go. Now we chill for a little bit while it saves. And let's get ready to go. So while that's saving, we are going to go over and say hi to our friend Big Ducky Snow. He's having a karaoke party. So let's give a shout out to them. And if you're on YouTube, thank you for being here. Like and subscribe if you can. That would be cool. If you're on Twitch, feel free to join the raid. There is that. We have the raid calls for non-subscribers and subscribers. And you're still thinking? So we have that. Hey, check out Charles. He has a Discord. He has been on stream every year or so, so keep an eye out for that. And what is it? I'm selling on Daz. I had another product come out today on Daz, the Deadline Reporter. Feel free to go over and throw money at it. That would be cool. And what else? Feel free to join the Discord, or Discord for those of you who can pronounce stuff properly. Yeah, thanks for being here, Rod. It's always good to see you. I'm almost done. As soon as this finishes, we will copy it to the other folder, save it on the Genesis 9 version, save that, and then call it a day. Just as soon as this gets done. Sometime this week. Come on, Daz. I totally should have turned the content management system database off. It always punishes me when I don't. There we go. Where's my file? Do I have to refresh? Where did I save it? I saved it in materials. It's right there. Copy. Dun 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 dun. Hide you, bring you up, put that on there. Come over here, paste that right there, apply it to the dress, and save it back over that one there. You know, is that a material file? That's a material file. I probably need to move you or something. I'm probably screwed up my savings somewhere. All right, let's get ready to raid. Slash raid. Thank you all for being here. I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 p.m. I am not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing then. I am just about done with the coveralls and playsuit set, so I'm trying to get that submitted to Daz. I got a couple more promos to render on that. Then we've got bras and panties, and I might make a hoodie, might make a sweatsuit. I think there's like a Celtic elf set I might want to do. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea quite what I'm doing tomorrow just yet. Anyhow, what am I doing? I'm doing a raid. We're going to go over and say hi to Big Ducky Snow. There we go. Raid has been started. So anyhow, if you're on YouTube, thank you. If you're on Twitch, feel free to join the raid. And let's pop over here. And it was good to see you, Celis. Thanks for popping in, man. Did I do my raid calls? Where did my raid calls go? There they are. They're all the way back there. Let's try this again. Select the raid call. Copy the raid call. All right, I'm ready to go. All right, hasta la vista, baby.